Throughout the annals of history, man has established an almost perfect record of ignoring the inevitable. The human race recognizes and accepts that the sun will rise tomorrow, not because of God's promise that it will, but because it has done so repeatedly in the past. When God promised that the land would be flooded by the waters, the promise was ignored by the vast majority of mankind, and because of this disbelief, perished. The coming of Christ was foretold for countless generations, but again, with few exceptions, the prophecy was received with only superficial recognition. Even when such momentous happenings occur, it is sad that only after they are past does man realize that God's promises are never broken. The Bible speaks plainly of another event that will take place: God's promise to come and receive his own unto himself. This promise is not hidden nor shadowed in Bible prophecy, but again, man goes about his daily tasks, assuming tomorrow will be the same as today. Man's reason for this attitude, once again, is simply because today is the same as yesterday. What you're about to hear has not yet happened, at least not at the time this was recorded. But as sure as the waters covered the land, it will come to pass. It has been predicted by theologians, broadcasters, and other knowledgeable persons that the recording you are about to hear will, through high-fidelity systems within homes and in churches across the nation, be heard by virtually everyone in America. If the realism of the second coming of Christ is not in the forefront of your mind, then it is our hope that in a very few minutes this truth will be so clearly revealed to you that you will be as sure of its happening as you were of the sun's rising this morning. Listen carefully. Listen prayerfully. For what you are about to hear will surely come to pass.
Are you moving and grooving or kind of singing and swinging? Well, it makes no difference as long as you do your thing with the Music Man as we kind of talk it to you with those tantalizing, testifying sounds from the Music Machine with yours truly, the Music Man, in charge of the good times right now. We're going to have some old and some new as we talk it to you on the Music Man Show today. And we're not going to hand you no jive. No, sirree. We're just going to lay some info on you to make you come alive. In the next portion of the Music Man Show now, I'll be telling you about one of the out-of-sight happenings coming up this weekend. The Boogaloo, just take loose and dig on it later. But right now, it's time for the latest news, and we'll see you back on the flip side.
5 teenagers were charged by coastal police with possession of illegal drugs and breaking and entering yesterday. Officials say the 5 youths were arrested last night. All are juveniles, and their names were not released. The Senate Banking Committee moved today to save financially troubled companies from bankruptcy. The panel approved and sent to the Senate a bill providing for the government to guarantee loans to shaky firms. A reliable source predicts the federal government's probe of illegal gambling in the state will lead to more arrests of prominent officials. It was learned that at least 1 district attorney and 3 state judges would be charged. The charge would center on a $200,000 kitty put up by pinball operators to kill legislation in the State House. A small earthquake struck 3 northwestern counties today, rattling windows and knocking dishes from shelves, but causing no measurable damage. And this item just in on the local scene. A 4-year-old girl is reported missing from 104 Maple Street. The girl was wearing a blue dress and has blonde hair. When the mother was asked how long the girl had been missing, she stated that she was there just a moment ago.
Shake it loose and let it fall. Don't miss the scene, babies. Take it 4 miles out the West Side Turnpike. It's a weekend of sounds and happenings. The gates open Saturday night at 9, and it's a solid 30 hours of the N sound, hey, with the NK. Be there for the biggest, wildest weekend of a lifetime. 10 greens a couple, buys you and your baby a spot right in the middle of what's happening right now. The grounds have been leased and fenced. Dig that. The gates swing open next Saturday night at 9, and the sounds and sights will continue till Sunday midnight. 4 miles out the West Side Turnpike now. It's all going to happen, Boogaloo, and it'll all happen if you make the scene. Advance tickets are on sale right now at every place that swings. It's a weekend of happenings, too, starting next Saturday night at 9. And we're looking for you, baby, next weekend with your face in the place.
We interrupt our regular programming for a bulletin from our traffic helicopter.
We're directly above the Southside Expressway, where the strangest traffic tie-ups we've ever seen has cars blocked in both the south and the northbound lanes. When we first approached the expressway, we thought there had been one accident, but I can tell you this tie-up is not the result of one or even 2 or 3 wrecks. All along the 3-mile stretch of highway from the city limits all the way to the Beltway, there are cars off the road to the left and the right in the north and southbound lanes. Traffic on the Beltway is almost exactly the same. No apparent connection between the accidents. There's just an unending string of single and multi-car wrecks. We've covered more than 6 miles of highway, and there's no end in sight to the pileups. There's absolutely no way for the cars to move in either direction. Our present position is 3 miles east on... Oh no, directly below us there's an explosion involving a tanker truck and 8 or 10 cars.
We'll get back to our helicopter as soon as we can. We take you now directly to Metropolitan Jetport for this bulletin.
Metropolitan Jetport is the scene of absolute bedlam. We have no explanation, absolutely no idea what has taken place. Families from all over the area are gathered here to meet the flight, bringing home almost 100 persons who had been attending a convention. It was announced 15 minutes ago that the plane had been sighted on radar and would land in 3 or 4 minutes. When the plane did not arrive, it was announced it had suddenly disappeared from the Jetport radar while approaching the runway. We don't know yet what has happened to that plane, and stranger still, here in the terminal, several persons who were waiting appear to have just, vanished. There were children lining the viewing platform, and now, not a child is in sight. The only statement we have from Jetport officials is that a traffic controller disappeared from his chair right in the control tower. No one here has any idea what has taken place. We're in the radar control room. Here's another report. 2 planes that were cleared to enter the flight pattern have suddenly...
This is Radio News Central. We are interrupting all scheduled broadcasts, and we'll bring you factual information on what is taking place just as soon as we have it. 18 minutes ago, our telephone lines were suddenly jammed with reports that we first thought must be a mass hoax. We can tell you something has happened, and it is not a hoax. Our helicopter and our mobile units have confirmed that traffic in the entire county is virtually at a standstill. How many of the reports we are receiving are the result of panic, we just do not know. We are continually getting calls from hysterical people who claim that people have disappeared into thin air. We urge you not to panic. This can only add to the confusion. From our vantage point here in Radio News Central, we have direct lines to all law enforcement agencies in the county, 9 mobile units throughout the area. Our teletype and radio lines link us to the rest of the state and the nation. So you are urged to remain calm. Stay off the telephone so that emergency calls can get through. Do not call the station with anything other than factual reports. Don't ask us for information. We'll broadcast all verified reports as we receive them. Our lines are now open for factual reports. Don't ask questions. Please give us your information and then clear the line. Okay, patch my console through the calls and I'll take them live. This is Radio Central. Go ahead.
I can give you some information. People have disappeared. I'm the manager of Northwood Shopping Mall, right in the center of the shopping area. Several customers, clerks, and some of our office personnel just vanished. Now these people didn't leave, they disappeared. People have fainted in the house. We can't even close the stores. Traffic outside, it's completely blocked. We need help, and lots of it. We can't reach the police department. Please, do what you can to get help out here. There's no way we can control this situation.
Hold it, here's another urgent bulletin.
This is the lieutenant at Central Police Headquarters. Announce as many times as you can that all off-duty policemen, deputies, and other law enforcement personnel are hereby ordered to report for duty immediately. And tell people to stop calling law enforcement agencies for information. We just don't have it. Don't call any law enforcement agency except for extreme emergencies.
Go ahead.
Please try to get somebody to help me. I run a little filling station 6 miles north of the city. My wife and I live in the back of the building. She was having a Bible study with 2 other ladies. I went back to get a sandwich, and they'd vanished, they'd just gone. I've tried to call the sheriff, but I can't get him. Cars are blocked all around the station. 3 men just came in, and I was trying to get them to help me. But they hit me and took all our money and just laughed at me. Please get somebody out here to help me.
Mobile Unit 6, this is Mobile Unit 6. This is Mobile Unit 6.
All right, you're on.
I can't move the mobile unit. I'm out at a local cemetery. More people here are in a state of shock. This is one of the biggest cemeteries in the county, and hundreds of the graves are literally torn open as if something had just pulled the bodies right up through the ground. People all say that the cemetery was normal just a few minutes ago, but I have no explanation what's going on. But hundreds of these graves are literally just torn open. I have no explanation, but I can tell you this is the most shocking sight I have ever seen, and that's just all I can tell you.
We have this report from Metropolitan Hospital. Hold it. Is this verified?
Yes, it is.
All right. A source considered reliable reports that about the same time we began receiving these other strange calls, well, I'll just give you the report as I have it here, and I quote, an elderly lady was undergoing major surgery. 2 doctors, an anesthesiologist, an intern, and 3 nurses were actually in the operating room. The operation had begun, the patient was on the operating table, and the next instant was gone. Most of those in the operating room at the time, including the surgeon, are now being treated for shock. Our reporter from Mobile Unit 4 has been involved in an accident, but has made contact from a phone in a nearby tavern. Okay, Mobile 4, go ahead.
The whole downtown area is a mass of confusion. I'm calling from a tavern here on 2nd Avenue. 30 minutes ago, I was stopped at a red light when a car veered across the intersection and struck the side of my mobile unit. I got out and, well, I know it's hard to believe, but there was no driver in the other car. The streets were jammed and my radio was out. I started walking, and let me tell you, everything you can think of is happening on the streets. Why, I've seen 100 or more people who have just fainted on the sidewalk. People are breaking windows and they're taking things. Others are grabbing merchandise and just running out of the stores. I don't know what help can be gotten, but the few policemen here can't possibly cope with the situation. One of the strangest things is that here in the tavern, everything appears normal. These people just don't seem to know what's going on. Or maybe they just don't care. Whatever has happened has the downtown area in a dilemma that's hard to imagine.
Let's hold it here in Radio News Central for a recap of the information we have. For the past 34 minutes, we've received the most baffling reports ever heard at the station. People from all walks of life are reported missing. Hundreds claim that people have actually vanished. Traffic in the entire county, and now we understand across the state, is at a standstill. Hospitals are jammed with accident victims, many reported to be in shock. Ambulances are not able to... Hold it, here's another urgent bulletin. Take you directly to the...